Ukraine's warfront is once again rocked by flames and explosions. On September 16th, new footage released by Sputnik International revealed one of the most striking demonstrations yet of Russia's evolving drone warfare. So, here is the story. The video, captured by a Rubicon drone, first showed a calm scene during daylight. An oil storage complex, its tanks lined up in the Sumy region, at the edge of Nadyernoye. The serenity was deceptive. Seconds later, the same sight appeared in the ghostly palette of infrared, the drone camera tracking through a storm of interference, its signal partially jammed but still functional. Despite the haze of electronic warfare trying to blind it, the unmanned system pressed forward with its mission. Moments later, the site erupted. The Nadyernoye station was more than pipes and valves. It was a vital node where gas was received, stored, and distributed, feeding both industrial infrastructure and, as Russian sources described, the rear network supporting Ukraine's military formations. By striking there, Russia signaled once again that energy systems, fuel depots, and logistics arteries remain squarely in its crosshairs. Destroying them does not only cause a blackout or shortage for civilians, it also weakens the operational tempo of Ukraine's armed forces, limiting mobility, slowing resupply, and complicating coordination across the front. What made this strike even more notable was the platform that carried it out. The Rubicon drone is not an imported Shahed copy, nor a slow kamikaze design. It is a product of the Rubicon Advanced Unmanned Technologies Test Center, an arm directly tied to Russia's defense ministry. Designed for both reconnaissance and precision strikes, these FPV drones represent Russia's next-generation approach to unmanned warfare. Compact and maneuverable, they are tailored for frontline assault missions where human pilots would face unacceptable risks. Unlike mass-produced expendable drones meant to overwhelm air defenses, Rubicon craft are crafted with advanced guidance systems that allow them to penetrate environments thick with electronic warfare. The September 16th footage was proof. Even under heavy jamming, the Rubicon drone maintained control long enough to complete its strike. One of the drone's most valuable features lies in its flexibility. Built for high-speed maneuvers, it can be piloted directly into hardened targets with devastating precision. Depending on the payload configuration, Rubicon drones can carry high explosive charges or shaped warheads, capable of ripping through fortifications or setting ablaze fuel complexes, as seen in Nadyernoye. Their real-time camera feeds give operators the ability to identify, stalk, and attack targets with remarkable accuracy. In essence, they merge the cheap expendability of small FPV craft with the precision strike qualities of larger systems. But the Sumy strike was only the beginning. Just one day later, on September 17th, the Russian Ministry of Defense released another video compilation showcasing a fresh series of Rubicon attacks. This time, the drones were turned not against energy infrastructure, but against manpower, vehicles, and defensive fortifications of the armed forces of Ukraine. The footage revealed scenes from the battlefield. A Humvee, widely used by Ukraine and supplied in large numbers by the United States, destroyed by a dive attack. Clusters of dug in positions struck with pinpoint accuracy. Even a group of enemy personnel targeted as they attempted to regroup under cover. Each successful strike carried a symbolic weight. The destruction of a Humvee underscored how Western-supplied equipment is increasingly vulnerable to Russia's swarm of inexpensive but lethal FPV drones. Unlike missiles that cost millions, a Rubicon drone carries a fraction of the price tag but delivers devastating efficiency. A fleet of them can bleed out enemy assets far more quickly than Ukraine's partners can replenish them. The Rubicon system also highlights an evolution in Russian doctrine. Early in the war, drones were largely limited to surveillance or single-use kamikaze strikes. But as Ukrainian electronic warfare grew more sophisticated, simple designs like the Duran II often struggled to get through. The Rubicon drones, by contrast, are engineered for resilience against jamming and interference, using adaptive signal control to remain connected with operators. Their high-definition FPV feed is more resistant to distortion, giving pilots the edge they need to finish an attack run. In effect, these drones are the answer to Ukraine's growing arsenal of anti-drone systems, turning what was once a defensive advantage back into a Russian offensive weapon. The broader implications are clear. By combining strikes on energy hubs with assaults on frontline assets, Russia is showcasing a dual strategy. The first prong is to strangle Ukraine's logistics by targeting the very infrastructure that fuels its war effort. The second prong is to directly destroy the tools of war, vehicles, troops, and fortifications that hold the line at the front. Both strategies are enabled by drones like Rubicon, which are not only cost-effective, but also increasingly difficult to stop. For NATO observers, the Rubicon strikes raise a different set of questions. Western militaries have invested heavily in electronic warfare as a shield against drones. If Russia's new systems can still penetrate such defenses, it suggests a worrying future where even advanced armies could struggle to protect their assets from cheap FPV drones. The destruction of a US-supplied Humvee by a Russian-built FPV craft is not just a battlefield anecdote. It is a glimpse into how the balance of technological advantage can shift rapidly. The Sumy gas hub strike and the follow-up attacks on September 17th are thus more than isolated incidents. Together, they represent a new phase in Russia's drone campaign, one where advanced FPV systems like Rubicon are used to hit both critical rear infrastructure and frontline assets in rapid succession. It is a tactic that multiplies pressure across every layer of Ukraine's defense. At the same time, it signals to the wider world that Russia's drone industry is evolving beyond imported designs and into domestically developed, battle-hardened systems. The Rubicon drones are instruments of war, striking where it hurts most, and revealing a future battlefield where small, fast, and adaptive machines can turn the tide of an entire campaign. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.